Donald Trump has spent the last 5-6 days at this point attacking Special Prosecutor Jack Smith for a bunch of things that may or may not be fictitious, including Trump's charge that he is somehow a terrorist, which is a claim Donald Trump made on the Mark Levin radio show just a few days ago, but mostly the attacks have been limited to what Trump can rant about on Truth Social. So on Thursday of last week, Donald Trump had this to say not just about Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, but also Smith's wife. Trump said, quote, "Jack Smith is a Trump-hating thug whose wife is a serial and open Trump hater whose friends and other family members are even worse. Smith is known as an unfair savage and is best friends with the craziest Trump haters." So he's a thug, he's a savage, and his whole family is filled with Trump haters. Now, I had mentioned this last week because obviously at the time that was pretty raw, pretty crazy. But then over the weekend, it got even crazier. Trump said this: "How come the Biden prosecutor is a nice guy, very friendly with Democrats and rhinos alike, close to Christopher Wray, and pretty much liked and known by everybody, while my prosecutor is a radical left Trump-hating lunatic?" He then said that the special prosecutor's family, quote, his wife and family gets a perfect 10 for spewing Trump hate. A perfect 10. I was unaware that there was actually a scoring system for spewing Trump hate. I would love to know what my score is. I'd like to think I'm a perfect 10, right? I have said this a million times to Donald Trump, and I'm going to say it again. In fact, I almost feel like I need to get a sign made up so I can just hold up the sign when it's time to say this, but here it is. It's never a good idea to antagonize the individual who holds your entire fate in their hands, which is, of course, exactly what Jack Smith has. Because Jack Smith is not just looking at the document scandal. Mostly he's looking at the attempts to overturn the 2020 election, right? The real things, the fraud against the United States. Those are the kinds of things that Jack Smith really is focused on. As far as we know, he's not spending a whole lot of time on the actual documents part of this, right? The Mar-a-Lago docs. That seems to be a small piece, if it's even something he's really spending any time on. To be honest, it's pretty cut and dry. He doesn't have to look too deep into it. But the attempted fraud against the government, lying, the fake electors, all of that, yeah, that's actually a pretty big deal. And that, of course, is what Jack Smith is getting closer to. So the reason Donald Trump is openly freaking out right now is because this investigation, not just with the subpoenas we learned about last week, but with statements from those close to the investigation, they say it's ramping up. Some legal experts have even predicted that we might actually see indictments within a month. Now, I think that's being way too generous, but I do think, based on what we're seeing here, indictments very soon could be a very real possibility. If not against Donald Trump, then perhaps against some of his very close associates. And that's what's scaring Donald Trump. But I guess he's also never heard the mantra, never let him see a sweat, right? Don't let him know when you're nervous. Well, you kind of wear it on your sleeve. And if Jack Smith wasn't busy investigating every aspect of every lie you've ever told, I'm sure that he and his wife, who are not public figures, by the way, and their entire family, as you also called out, I'm sure any one of them would be willing to hit you with a defamation lawsuit. And to be perfectly honest, based on these statements that you have said publicly about these people, I would love nothing more than for when this investigation ends, for them to hit you with a defamation lawsuit as basically just another way of kicking you while you're down, because that is exactly what you deserve. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.